Welcome to our second ever Art Slides lecture. Today we will be learning about 5 different pieces of Mesopotamian art. As we view these pieces, it's important to bear in mind that Mesopotamia is a region, not a single culture. There were a number of groups in Mesopotamia, such as the Akkadians, Sumerians, Assyrians, and Babylonians. Today's artwork comes from the same region, but from multiple cultures. Our first piece of art is actually a collection of cult figurines, collectively known as statues from the Abu temple. And no, Abu is not the cute and lovable monkey from Aladdin, but a Sumerian god. These were discovered at a Sumerian site known as Tel Asmar, and they are made of limestone, alabaster, and gypsum, and their eyes are made of small shells. The tallest figure is only about 30 inches. Each statue is thought to be representative of a worshipper presenting themselves to the god Abu. Each figure holds either a cup or a branch, which are most likely objects of offering. Their wide eyes also suggest that they are in the presence of divinity. This is one of the first pieces where we will see hierarchical proportions. And this just means that the bigger the statue or the image, the more important. So each of these figures was likely commissioned by an actual person to represent themselves in the temple. So the larger the figurine, likely the more wealthy or powerful the individual who commissioned it. And that is something that we will see through Mesopotamian art and Egyptian. Next up is the Ziggurat at Ur. There are several known ziggurats, but this one is one of the most well preserved. It is another Sumerian piece, and the ziggurat was constructed under King Ur-Nammu toward the end of the Neo-Sumerian period. It is constructed of 3 stages around a mud brick core. 3 staircases of 100 steps each lead to a single point of access at the top, and on top was a shrine at one point. King Ur-Nammu claimed that the god Marduk ordered him to build the ziggurat in order to reach the heavens. Thus, it was primarily a religious site. And as you study this structure, I would highly recommend that you view other photographs and artistic renderings of it so that you can gain a better idea of what the entire piece looked like or would have looked like when it was first constructed. This next piece is one of numerous sculptures of Gudiya. Gudiya was an influential ruler in Lagash, and he was primarily known for his ability to maintain peace. It is thought that he did this primarily through appeals to religion. In Mesopotamian cultures, as in many cultures that we will look at, rulers were often believed to be direct links to the gods. In all depictions of Gudiya, he has his hands clasped in an attitude of prayer, thus reinforcing his status with the gods. It's also important to note that he is fairly compact, and this is true for all sculptures of him. There's really no extra space around his body, whether it's under his arms or legs. Everything is very closely pulled in, and this sort of allows him, rather than exerting control over his physical space, makes him appear as though he has great self-control. Next is the Hammurabi stela. A stela is an upright stone slab or column, and it usually has an inscription or design carved into it. And this inscription is normally commemorative of an event, place, or person, and serves as a sort of reminder of something in particular to the people who view it. In this case, the stela contains the Code of Hammurabi, which was a set of laws based on Sumerian legal traditions. Hammurabi was a Babylonian king who extended his control across all of Mesopotamia. While the stela contains many interesting and oddly specific laws, think How I Met Your Mother, if you see a sign that says no boogie boarding on the sidewalk, then we have to assume that somebody at one point attempted to boogie board on the sidewalk. We are mostly interested, however, with the relief sculpture at the top. The relief sculpture depicts Hammurabi standing before the Akkadian sun god Shamash. Shamash holds the ring and rod of divine power and justice, and he extends his blessing to Hammurabi. So just like we saw with Gudiya, Hammurabi is claiming status or blessing with the gods in order to exert his control over those that he is ruling. Lastly, for Mesopotamian art, is the Ishtar gate. And what you see here is a reconstruction and restoration. When the gate was discovered, it was carefully dismantled and rebuilt indoors for preservation. While it is now in Berlin, the gate was originally from Babylon and was commissioned by King Nebuchadnezzar. It is one of 8 gates around the city of Babylon, and it was is made of glazed bricks, and it is dedicated to Marduk. An important aspect to note here is the curved archway. While it might not seem like much to us now, it is an important development from the it is an important architectural development from the prehistoric post and lintel construction. All right, and that is all that we have for Mesopotamian art.